In this video, students will discuss about the next division, that is pteridophytes. Okay, so pteridophytes are seedless plants. They do not produce any seeds, hence they are called as cryptogams. Primitive tracheophytes. Primitive tracheophytes means they are having xylem and a phloem in a very primitive stage, hence they are called as primitive tracheophytes. Here xylem is present but without xylem vessels. Phloem is present without companion cells. Xylem fibers, xylem vessels, components are there within the xylem, where 4 components are there. Out of this 4 components, one component, that is xylem vessels, are absent. Phloem is also made up of 4 components. Out of this, companion cells are absent. Only 3 components are present. Hence, they are primitive tracheophytes. Plant body is a sporophyte. Unlike bryophytes, the plant body which we see is a gametophyte, but here the plant body which we see is, see here, this is sporophyte. This is sporophyte. Actually, what we are seeing is sporophyte. When we were discussing about bryophyte, what we saw, it was gametophyte. Gametophyte gives rise to sporophyte. Here, what we were seeing is nothing but a sporophyte. It gives rise to a gametophyte. Okay, the plant body is sporophyte, consisting of root, stem, and leaves. They are the first land plants. But whereas bryophytes, they are half land and half water, but they need water, but they need moist, shady conditions. Here they are the first land plants. They have complete developed root, stem, and leaf. Here we can observe 2 types of leaves. One is microphylls and another one is macrophylls. Microphylls means if leaves are small, they are called as microphylls. If the leaves are large, then they are called as macrophylls. Okay, microphylls, it is present in an example Selaginella. In macrophylls, it is present in ferns. Next, sporophyte, the thing which we are seeing, the sporophyte has a sporangia. See here, the sporophyte having a sporangia. Sporangia are nothing but a spore-bearing structures within which spores develop. Hence, it is called as sporangia. Sporophyte has sporangia, that are, these sporangia are attached to the leaves. They are found attached to the leaves. Okay, so in some cases, sporophylls form a compact mass. In some plants, in some pteridophytes, what happens is, if this is the leaf, the sporangia is present here. Sporangia is present here. If this is leaf, sporangia is present here. This sporangia is present here. Whereas in some pteridophytes, all the spore-bearing leaves, they have formed a cone-like structure. They are not free like this. They have formed a cone-like structure called as a strobilus. Or in simple terms, it is called as cone. It forms a cone-like structure or a strobilus. See here, I will show you an example. See here, these are spore-containing leaves, but they have formed a cone-like structure. Such structures are called as strobilus. Whereas in some plants, it is free. See here, it is free. Hence, it is called as the difference between strobilus and microphylls or macrophylls. Then next one is, in some cases, sporophyll has compact structures called as strobilus or cone. Example for this is Selaginella or equisetum. See, sporophyte has sporophylls. This sporophylls, where the sporangia is present. This sporangia contains number of spores. Okay, if a leaf containing microspores, microspores are nothing but male spores. Male spores are called microspores. This leaf is called as microsporophyll, since it has provided space for the attachment of microsporangia. If this is the leaf, here macrospores are developing, then it is called as macrosporangia. Microsporangia, it is the leaf. Microsporophyll is a leaf which provides space for the development of microspores. Macrosporophyll is a leaf which provides space for the development of the macrospores. Macrospores are nothing but female gametes. Microspores are nothing but which have male reproductive structure and not male reproductive structure and female reproductive structure. This is microspore is male spore, megaspore is a female spore. Okay, then next one. In some plants, that is homosporous, both microspores and megaspores, male spores and female spores are present in the same plant. Such condition is called as homosporous. Example is Selaginella. In some plants, the male spores, that is microspores, are present in one plant. In another plant, female spores are present. Hence, it is called as a heterosporous condition. Heterosporous, homosporous condition. Okay, example for heterosporous is Selaginella. Example for homosporous is Selaginella, example for heterosporous is Salvinium. Spores gives rise to an intermediate stage called as prothallus. See, the spores gives rise to prothallus. This is just an intermediate stage within which Antheridia, Archegonia are present. See here, Antheridia, number of antherozoites. Here also, this is Antheridia, number of antherozoites. Here Archegonia, this is egg cell. They both fuse together and they produce sporophyte. The thing which we are seeing is produced from the fusion of male and female gametes, all these structures. Okay, cell, and produce the spores gives rise to an intermediate stage called as prothallus. It produces Antheridia, Archegonia. They produce gametes. These gametes fuse together to form zygote. This zygote produces a sporophyte. The spores germinate to give rise to small multicellular free living. Mostly this is thalloid structure, free living and photosynthetic structure. Okay, prothallus, this is nothing but a gametophyte. Very primitive gametophyte. This is very short lived, and next from this arises what? Sporophyte. See here, again I will explain. The thing we are seeing is sporophyte. This is sporophyte. Okay, this is sporophyte. Leaves, microspores. Here microspores are produced, here macrospores are produced. Okay, this macrospores fall down and also microspores fall down. So when macrospores or microspores fall down, this produces the thallus. This thallus is called as prothallus. This prothallus has, if it is homosporous, it will be having male reproductive structure called as Antheridia and also Archegonia. If it is heterosporous, male prothallus is different, female prothallus will be different. We will discuss for our example, we will consider only homosporous conditions. Okay, so within this thallus both are present. This is Antheridia. This is female reproductive structure called as Archegonia. Antheridia produces number of antherozoites. These antherozoites come and reach the egg cell. From the egg cell, what happens is the sporophyte develops. This sporophyte has Antheridia, Archegonia, and this this sporophyte gives rise to microsporophyll and megasporophyll, within which microspores and megaspores are present. This microspores and megaspores, within which there is microsporophyll and megasporophyll, and they undergo meiosis and they fall down. They undergo meiosis and they fall down. See here, gametophyte is giving, sporophyte is giving rise to gametophyte, gametophyte is giving rise to sporophyte. Here gametophyte is always haploid, sporophyte is always diploid. This is again sporophyte itself. I hope you have got this point. Okay, next. See here, this is an example of Selaginella. See here, in single plant itself, it is homosporous, where microspore and megaspore both are present. Within the same plant, microsporangia is present, megasporangia is present, within which microspores are present, within which megaspores are present. They undergo what? Meiosis and they fall down. Okay, once they fall down, so they give rise to a prothallus. When they give rise to prothallus, what happens? Male reproductive structure and female reproductive structure they will be having. They will give rise to Antheridia and Archegonia, that is egg cell. They both fuse together and they give rise to a sporophyte. This sporophyte is forming this sporophyte, and again they give rise to spores. Okay, then these are some of the examples. Next, coming to the classification of pteridophytes. Pteridophytes are classified into Ceratopsida, Lycopsida, Spinopsida and Pteropsida. Okay, example for Ceratopsida is a Xylotum. This is Xylotum. Example for Lycopsida is a Selaginella. This one is Selaginella, or this is Lycopodium. This is not Selaginella, this is Lycopodium. Next example for Spinopsida is Equisetum. Next example for Pteropsida is Adiantum, or this one is Dryopteris. Okay, see here, you can see this Dryopteris, behind the leaf number of spore producing structures are there. Wow, see here, number of spore producing structures. They may be microspore or megaspore, or they may be separate. Okay, In single sporangia there may be microspore and megaspore both, or in here may be the microsporangia, here may be the macrosporangia. Okay, so not much details on classification here. So next is economic importance. Economic importance, usually these are you might have seen in ornamental purpose, they are majorly used as ornamental purpose. Next is they are having very good medicinal value. Some of the pteridophytes, that is Dryopteris, is having it is used as anti-helminthic drug. Next is sporophyte of Marshall is used as a source of starch food for medicinal purpose and also soil binders. Okay, these are very few importance is there, but I hope you have got all the point. Main important thing here to note down is what is the difference between bryophyte and pteridophyte, okay, with respect to their life cycle. This, if you get the point, this whole chapter will be easy for you. Thank you.